make sure these are real quick, Abe. I know we're live, guys. Hi. The audio is. I forgot to ask you. The audio is Gucci. We're good. Gucci. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Do re mi fa sol la ti do. Okay. Hi. Hello. Hola. Welcome back to the Fresa Show. Today we have Vita Kari.
Hi, how are you?
First name Vita, last name Kari.
Yep.
Because I thought it was kind of like a connected Vita
It
Kari.
is and it's
Vita
not,
Kari.
you know? It's my artist name.
Kari.
So it's
Vita
like
Kari.
Vita, it could be just Vita. People usually just call me Vita, although I don't
Okay,
have a
Vita.
space in between.
Mm-hmm.
But Vita Kari is the whole thing.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you. And appreciate your outfit, which is so bomb, and your makeup and the jewels. Did you do it yourself?
Yeah.
That's so dope. And the earrings too?
Yeah, you know, I edited this one with the little hoop here, but then took this out, so it's a little uneven. I like the vibe, you know?
Wow.
Likes to be asymmetrical, you know?
You made it yourself?
No, these earrings I like just bought and edited, I guess. Like bought the leaf part, edited together. If that makes sense. I guess edit is a tech word, but like altered, right?
You're like, whatever suits you, whatever floats your bubble. You tell everyone, you're like, take the word that you want.
Yeah, altered edit, you know?
So I know you're an artist. Would you call yourself an artiste? What would you say what is Vita?
I would say I'm a multimedia
Who is
artist.
she?
Yeah. I do it all, you know?
Okay.
Also a tech nerd, you know?
Oh, really?
Oh,
I didn't know
yeah.
that part.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, a little background, everyone, for who's watching. I met you kind of recently. I don't even know, a month or two, 2 months ago, at your Peerspace studio, and we got to a little bit of talking. And I thought you were like so dope and cool, and we just kept talking a lot, and we vibed. So I'm like, that's how I know her. But I just got to know a little bit of you and whatnot. So you are a multimedia artist. So what are some of the avenues that you do, like your work in art?
I think my biggest passion, which you experienced when you came to the studio, is visual art. I feel like I strayed away from it for so long, but I always wanted to be a painter, you know. But really, singing is, I guess, how I started having a platform. But luckily, I've been really diving into just painting, installations, and then of course, I love techie stuff like filters and making filters on IG, AR, super fun for me. All of that fun stuff. So anything that is a creative outlet, I love to do. Yeah,
do you have actual music videos and stuff?
Yeah, I do, and it's fun. I'll draw each storyboard and then hand them to my friend that will direct them. And you can look at the drawing next to the actual video, and it's identical. It's I'm very particular,
dope.
you know. I mean, as artists are.
So you went to school to learn how to work the storyboards, you know?
No, I just made it up as I go.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're just naturally gifted. Amazing.
No, I just love the creative process, and it's something I think it didn't feel it's attainable as a career, but I am very grateful to say that it's.
So that's how you took off originally. First was the music.
Yeah, was music. Yeah.
Okay, and what would you say is your genre of music?
I would say bedroom pop R&B maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, but to be honest, just full disclosure, I love music, but I knew that in order to be a multimedia artist, I had to start there. And I started making music later in life, at 22. So a lot of people start younger, and it's how many times have you seen an article about a painter or visual artist versus a singer or musician or anything like that? So it's an easy way to kind of start showing the world your creativity in a really acceptable form.
That's dope. And how did you know what type of music that you wanted to do when you were jumping into it?
I just I was actually in college. I went to college I went to NYU and then transferred to a school in the South. It's it was crazy. I had never been there, and it was wild. But I just started doing hooks for rappers that were in a Southern collective.
Oh.
And I had never sung before. I was you want me to be on me? Okay. And and it was really fun. And then I kind of moved into doing solo stuff.
Ooh. Abe, we could pull up. Can we pull up one of her videos or something like that? If they're on YouTube? The laptop.
Oh, that's
I'm last time we did do it, but
they're fun.
Do you have any of your actual paintings or sculptures in it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's kosher.
Because I want to look it up and see some of your stuff.
Yeah, if you look up Vita Kari, Bad Weather, that's probably my favorite music video I've done.
Do you feel awkward when people play it, or do you bump your own music? Will you be at a party and you're like, guys, I'll put my song on?
No, I'm not that person. But it's funny. Grandmas a lot of times will find out I'm a singer and ask me just to sing out on the spot, and I'm like, just cannot
They're like,
do
are
it.
you a true artist a cappella? No.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm like I said, tech nerd. Like, I love production, like music production. So I, full disclosure, tune the F out of my vocals. Absolutely, yeah.
Which is still dope.
No,
like,
it's
there's
fun.
Still
Yeah.
art to it, and everybody does that.
Well, it's like, it's cool because like you have so much that you can do, and also like the safe space of like, I recorded this song, for example, just like when I was in my room. Oh yeah, Bad Weather. Yeah, this is the one I storyboarded everything, and like you'll see a bunch of the props that you saw at the studio in this video and everything. That's cute. That's me.
Oh, here's Vita Kari's. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Vita Kari's video, everyone.
Yeah, that's me. Isn't it fun?
And you always do your own makeup?
No, my friends helped me with this one. I was very blessed to say. No, I don't always. Oh, thank you. Right?
So you made that. That's your art head?
Yeah, that's my like art head. Those were in the studio. Actually, everything you see is about to be in the studio, like that you went to and visited.
Yeah.
So it was fun. I like made all the props and like it's just an integrative experience, Like all this I just made out of cardboard. I'm sure we already talked about my love for cardboard when we were at the studio. I love cardboard.
That's so
yeah.
dope. And you're still making songs now, right? In music
I
and all that?
am. I'm kind of like working on a top secret deal, so I can't put out music for a little bit.
Okay.
But it's on the way. It's on the way.
It's going to be huge.
I know. Isn't it fun? It was just like all my friends. We got together.
I love.
Oh my gosh, thanks.
I'm like, I want to be in your next video.
Oh my God, I would love that. No, literally, it's like these concepts are so fun. Like my parents are also like, strangely, like they love my music videos. Like so this, like me, like snorting, like confidence. They were like, you're so creative. I was like, thanks, Dad.
You did it dope. It's like, it's so like good feeling and.
Yeah, just positivity, like, but like positivity is hard to
But it's still, you're still being yourself. Like I think that's the best part is you can tell like it's you being you.
Thank you.
I love. How often were you putting out music before? Because now you can't anymore. You're at a pause.
Yeah, I'm just at a pause briefly.
But congratulations on you working on the new.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been independent forever, so this is kind of fun.
How long officially have you been working on your music?
I started. I think I put out my first track in 2018.
Oh,
so pretty recently,
sure,
yeah.
And it took off.
It did, yeah.
So everyone, go look at Vita Kari on.
All of it, yeah.
Everywhere. It's Spotify. iTunes Music, Apple Music, YouTube. Oh yeah,
VitaKari.com.
So is your music on your website as well?
Yeah, there's a bunch of links. Yep.
So her link is there, everyone, so you can go there to see some of her music.
Aw, so supportive.
Yeah, it's super dope.
Oh my gosh, thanks. This was such a fun video. It was a great day. Like all my friends just got together, and it was just a great zero budget experience. You know what I mean? And, like, we had made all of these props, like, the night before some of this stuff.
Yeah. Did you edit it yourself, too?
No, my awesome director of this video, Yuki, edited it. But I had done, like, the storyboard of the thing, so, he knew. He knew what I was looking for, Yeah.
You can go back to the logo now, Abe.
I love this aesthetic, by the way. Like, I love the aesthetic of the whole thing. I love purple, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So you're also in techie, you said?
Yeah.
All right. What's a techie? Like, can you hack Instagram? Like,
oh my gosh, no, I wish.
If people lose their Instagram pages, can we go to you and pay you?
Oh my God, I wish. No, like, I wish I could just say that, like, I sit in, like, dark rooms and, like, green text is, like, all over my computer, but that's, like, just not the case. Right? Oh, I do love crypto. I am very into that. That is something. No, oh my gosh, we can talk about that anytime, because, like, literally, I think it feels inaccessible, like, this kind of, like, white boy Reddit thing, but it is amazing, and it's for everybody.
I tried to get a little bit into Forex before, but for me, I had like a mentor for it and everything, and I don't know, I just didn't think it was for me. Like I was really trying. I don't know if it's that you have to be into numbers and stuff, and like just trying to watch it and.
No, it's a lot emotionally. It's like a lot any type of that.
Numbers too, because it's like it was just like a lot to it, and for me, I've always been horrible at numbers. Horrible.
I get it.
And it's just no matter how hard I tried, I'm like, I just can't. I'm sorry. I'm like, it's just not for me.
Oh my gosh. No, I think
Forex is different from crypto?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty different. I don't know too much about Forex other than like to stay away from it. You know what I mean? But I do know like for crypto, I would just say like my most stable thing to say is like Bitcoin and Ethereum, because Ethereum is the coin that like a lot of the trading is based off of. So in order to trade like something called altcoins, which I say don't even get into unless you're really motivated to spend all day at your computer. Okay. But like those are the most like stable things to put in, like a savings account. I would say put some money, if it went to zero that you wouldn't be pressed about, like whatever that means to you, put some in, close the app, open it in 2 years. You know what I mean? That's my suggestion.
But the investing though in that type of crypto is, it's not going to be like in one day, right? From what I heard, you have to wait it out. And even if you do well, the longer you wait it, the better, like years.
Yeah, I'm in it for the long game. Yeah, you know,
that's kind of how it works overall, right?
Yeah, I feel like, so this is so random, but in my freshman year of college at NYU, I bought Bitcoin, right? So this is like 2013. Whoa, we're talking. Hey, okay, I wish I had held on, but I didn't. I didn't. No, I didn't, because
we got a multi-millionaire over here.
No. But right, I know that's the secret. No, but like had I held on to it, of course, you know, it would be crazy. Shoot. So now my whole idea is like, you know, I just put what, you know, I'm not what I feel like. You know, if I have some money, I'm like, okay, I'm like, if this goes to zero, I won't be pressed if I lose this. That's the type I'll invest. And then I'm just going to leave it alone, like forever, probably. Until
How low can people invest? Like, is there like a minimum that someone has to invest into something?
No, you can put $5. You can put $5 into it. You can put $1, yeah.
Because a friend of mine, his first investment ever was in Dogecoin.
Yeah,
it was not 6 months ago, and it was 4,000.
Yeah,
but then he ended up going up to 70,000. But I guess just the other day it's going down. So now he's at 30,000.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what's called like an altcoin, and also like Doge or whatever. That's a whole. I invested some just because I was like,
it's called Doji or something.
I don't know, like Doge. It is Doge. I feel like my whole thing with Doge is like I said, unless you are really motivated to be like a crypto day trader and sit at your computer all day, I would say
some people do.
Yeah, and more power to them. But for me, I just don't have the emotional capability for that. I have a little in Doge just because my partner was like, just do it. So I did. It went up, it went down. It's like I'm not pressed. Yeah. But I just think it's one of those things that's like, if you have the emotional energy, for sure, and altcoins in general. But I would just say like Ethereum, Bitcoin, those are your like stable, those are going to be your friends in the long run.
Okay.
Unless the government shuts it down. You know.
So are you above though from what you invested originally from Doge?
Yeah, significantly. Yeah.
Yes. And then my other question was, my friend who he had 70, now he's down to 30 because of like the loss.
Oof.
When he was at 70, is there a way that you can, this is for me, we're doing 101 over here.
No, of course.
Yeah. Right at that time, could you pull it all out at once? You can't, right?
No, you could. There should be no reason.
There should be like because you work it through apps, correct? Like certain apps you go through?
Yeah. Oh, sometimes they give you a limit. That is true. I haven't traded to the extent of like 70,000 pull out in a day.
I was just wondering if you could be like, you know what? That's it.
I'm sure up to like 50,000 for some, right?
But I heard they take a lot. They still take a lot of tax out on it.
Yeah, it's called gas. It's like the fees that it takes to like remove, you know, like that basically like every time you do a transaction for crypto, especially when it comes to like altcoins, you get something called like gas taken up or like a miner's fee, because it's literally somebody that has to go look at it and like kind of make it happen, and they get like a significant amount. So for more altcoins, like let's say like Audio, shout out Audius, that was the first coin I ever like really received, which was like a streaming company that gave me a bunch of audio. Yeah. But like if you want to trade that, it'll eat up half of your profits in gas, which is Ethereum. But which is another reason.
So half, like you would get
not exactly half, but like it would take a
good chunk.
Yeah. So it's not always like the system definitely has some flaws to be updated. But I mean, if you're doing Doge through like Robinhood, which you don't actually own your actual like version of it, you can't send that Doge anywhere because Robinhood actually owns it. You just like pretend own it because you can't send it to like something called a wallet. So I'm such a nerd for this, and like I feel like I'm getting way too in.
Yeah, but I was gonna say too, do you think most people kind of have to be a little bit analytical, techie numbers to deal with this, or no? Or
I don't know. I think it's gatekeeping. Like, do you know what Reddit is?
Yes.
Okay, so I've been on Reddit like forever. I love Reddit. But I'm going to be honest, the culture of crypto right now feels very white boy. I watched Fight Club in middle school. Like, and I just don't think that's fair because it should be accessible to everybody. So people want to make it this whole thing where it's like, oh, you have to be like into computers to do it. But you don't. You can be anybody. You could be like my mom. You could be like my little sister. Anybody could do it. Especially too, I wish there was more. I think I really wish that there was more women that like we're more involved in it, because there definitely are, but significantly less, because it feels like a gatekeeping, like you have to like pray to the gods of crypto to like let you in, but it's just not true. Yeah.
Well, do you have the mic, Abe? Oh, I wanted to ask you. 'Cause my uncle just got into it too.
I'm into
what's it called? The whole
stock market
area of it.
Cryptocurrencies. You can get into gold. There's a bunch of different things you can get into, but I mean, I'm almost 100% invested in just the regular stock market.
That's a way more. That's a more like responsible choice, to be honest.
And you're like, good job, babe.
But it's only because I just don't quite understand yet what is really backing Ethereum and Bitcoin. Like what's from it? Like gold. Like gold is backing the dollar, but I think we just, as human species, we gave it the importance, the value of Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Oh, I read that somewhere where that's really all it's.
Yeah.
That is what it is. Like I heard that Elon Musk was the one because of Doge, and if he says something bad at all, it goes down. Like it's literally just like, I don't know if you want to call it trendy, but it's like just like we make it what it is and what it's not.
Not even to be this like ethereal, like woo-woo person I'm about to be, but like isn't that how the dollar works, or gold? Like somebody just found the rock of gold and was like, this is now worth something. Yeah. And in the same way, that's what I guess like Bitcoin and like other like decentralized forms of currency are, which is like people assign the amount of like how important it is, right? And like, I mean, I really think it's going to be mainstream unless it gets shut down by the government. But the reason like Doge, for example, is kind of like a weird one is because there isn't like a cap on how much can be made. Whereas Bitcoin and Ethereum, there's like a finite amount to them. So it's kind of more like rooted in reality, where Doge really, and like, okay, something else to know is you don't get dividends from crypto. You can if you kind of like do it in a specific way, but like for the most part, you just try to buy low, sell high. Whereas stocks are more like you get dividends, you get like more guarantees, because crypto is incredibly volatile. Like I said, if it's not, it has to be money you're okay losing 100%.
True.
You know what I mean? Because that's the risk you're taking.
I'm like, I'm gonna work through you. Every morning. I'm like, Vita. So what do I do today? How much? Which one? Should I take it? Should I pull it out? Should I keep it?
I would be happy to talk to you about it like at any time. Like seriously, I'll like help you do it today, like after this.
I'm like, just let me know, Vita. I'm like, you're just like my Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh my gosh, right? I know that's how I feel, but like really it doesn't look like that. I'm just like on my phone.
Well, damn, it definitely sounds like a lot-ish. But I mean, for me, so you think that you're more comfortable with it because like you went to school about that, or like
no, I went to school as an art student. I think what it is
just whoever there's into. Maybe it's just me.
No, it's not you. I think don't discredit yourself. I think you would actually find it really easy and like easy to understand. Like it is made for our generation. Like we grew up on social media. We understand analytics. Not everybody, but a lot of us played video games. And it's the same concept of like all of these things. Like it feels very much like a video game or analytics. Like if you can understand Instagram analytics when you go to your little like part of your IG page, then you can do crypto 110%. Don't discredit yourself at all. Like at all. It just seems gatekeepy.
All right.
Yeah.
Abe, are you ready? Noali, are you ready?
Oh, that's it.
Oh my gosh, I'm here to answer any questions.
I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna ask another question.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
Would you ever be like a coach or like mentor people?
Oh my gosh, I don't think I'm qualified to do that at all. I think I have a lot to learn, but I would be happy to give anybody advice at any point.
Just wondering. Okay.
Yeah.
What were you gonna ask, Abe?
I know she'll know this. What do you think of NFTs so far?
Oh, I love NFTs. I'm on a waiting list for.
I thought so. Yeah. You're super artsy, so I'm like, oh, she must be all about it, like for sure.
Yeah.
What's NFT for people like me and Noeli?
you go ahead.
No, you want to start?
All right. Yeah. Well, basically it's called the term is non-fungible token, but it's technically, to simplify it, it's digital art in any form, fashion, in any way.
Like a collectible.
Yeah, a collectible art. So technically you go to a museum, right? You see all these wonderful pieces displayed, the Mona Lisas, the Van Goghs. Well, imagine you making the Queen Noelle art piece, but digitally. And everyone's like, I want a Queen Noelle, I want a Queen Noelle. And they all want a piece of it, and they start buying this, and it's digital. It's on. It's
What is
it's
an
on a
actual
web, so
famous digital art piece so that we can think of it? Do
I
we
don't-
know any off top? Like
Dang, all the
the
people I know.
cat and the no, it's the dog. No, the dog. The flying the Doge dog.
The Shiba guy.
Yeah, the Shiba.
Yeah.
That's the probably one of the biggest ones I know. All it is, it's just in little GIF or it's an art piece.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
little digital art of this weird ass dog.
And it's just worth. It's like the easiest way to think about it is like Beanie Babies. Like if you have a Beanie Baby back in the 90s that was like super collectible and super expensive, right? Even if I took a picture of that Beanie Baby, I don't own that Beanie Baby. You do, because right, like it's yours. So that's the same idea with NFTs. Like even if it's a JPEG, even if it's a photo that anybody can see at any point, like if you're the one that owns it, you own it. So it doesn't, and then that will hopefully increase in value. It's an investment you're making in an artist. Like somebody invested in like maybe buying an Andy Warhol piece before it popped off. That's like the same kind of thing that you're doing, is the hope that it will, gain.
but it has to be digital.
Yeah, so it's digital and it's in your
But
crypto
even a
wallet.
photo, like if I took a photo of you, would that count as it or no?
As an NFT, I mean, you can make anything an NFT.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even have to be good. It could be literally like, I mean, anything. I think like you're so beautiful and you have, like your brand of like just everything you do. If you literally just had like a Polaroid of yourself and uploaded it, scanned it digitally and made that an NFT, I bet that would go crazy.
That's just so interesting.
Yeah.
I never really have, which I know this is like the new craze, and that not even craze. Like that's probably the wrong word. Like it's kind of like the new way of what is. But I'm like, yeah, I should probably look and really actually pay
I
attention
definitely
to that.
think this is like NFTs is like I think this is where NFTs, it's like where people in the years where they just started discovering what a Pokemon is. It's so small right now, and then when people really understand like what a Pikachu is, they're gonna go crazy.
No, I believe in
You know
it.
what
I
I
think
mean?
it'll become mainstream, to be honest. Unless it gets shut down. That's my only thing. Like,
Unless it gets shut down, yeah.
Which is
there's
Oh, it
possible.
might get shut down.
I mean, any type of currency that's not able to regulate through the government
Yeah.
is a hard one, because no one really owns, no one like has control over Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's not like somebody can print more or anything. It's decentralized.
Yeah.
So that means like, I feel like it's going to be a target, but we're just going to write it out and see. That's what I'm saying. If anybody's like listening and takes my suggestions, make sure it's money that you are down to
So
lose.
can you, as of right now, can you pay do people accept payment with this stuff?
I've accepted Bitcoin for when I've made filters. I made a lot of filters on IG before I like opened up the studio. That's how it was partially funded, of course.
Cool.
But sometimes people would pay me in Bitcoin through Cash App. Like there's an option. So I was
you
like,
were
oh,
okay
yeah.
with it. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I'll get paid in Bitcoin. And then since then, it's done. And like we're talking, I mean, we're not talking like crazy money, but like even just that is, for me, I was like, sure, I'm willing to take the potential L that this could go to zero, but maybe it'll go up. It did for me. Like I'm like one of those people that is gonna hold for a long time, but if there's an emergency, I have a savings, I guess, like a second savings in that way.
Wow, I'm like,
I love it.
no. Did you write this down?
I know, like, well, this is a lot.
I'm like, I'm taking it.
You have to, when you go home tonight, look up NFTs. It's gonna
Yeah,
change
that
your life.
sounds like probably
It's gonna
that
change your
sounds
life.
more of my
You
speed.
would like it.
I think you would really like
Probably
it.
then-
No, but that's the
It's
thing,
all
like
hype,
don't discredit yourself at all. You're an
hip-hop.
internet
Snoop Dogg
superstar,
has-
like
he just
guru. You
started
know
making
exactly
his
what you're doing.
NFTs.
You already have the
Every
skill set.
rapper out
Yeah.
there is starting to make the NFTs.
So it's just for NFT. I think I'll probably look into that or ask you about it.
Yeah,
more,
I'm
I guess,
I bet you the one
after.
you like.
Absolutely.
What's his name?
So you sell stuff.
Yeah, he's probably has NFTs.
Do you only invest in
For
NFT or you make your
Like,
own NFT?
A lot of them are trying.
My goal is to make my own NFT eventually, but I haven't gotten the ability to yet, but it's on the way. It's on the way. But for me, I'm like more focused on just like my own personal like crypto investments in this moment, but my next thing is an
But to
NFT.
each their own, right? Like everyone's
Yeah.
probably more into
NFT is definitely on the way, for sure.
dope. All
That's
right, everyone. We got some
fun.
crypto 101. So is NFT crypto or is that stock?
It's still part of crypto. It's not even, it's not stock at all.
NFT 101.
Yeah, I mean, like, and like, I just have a limited amount of knowledge, like, but if anybody has any questions,
I
just
think
let
all
me know.
of us have a little.
For,
that's
for
the
everyone
point, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
listening, that's like me. I'm sure that's like the most I've ever heard of everything. So yeah, let's.
I like to listen to Gary Vee and everything he says.
Oh, Gary
about
Vee,
NFT,
yeah.
'Cause
Great source.
Gary Vee's super knowledgeable on NFTs. Like he's been doing NFTs for like almost. He said like I didn't even know they existed for 10 years already. Like,
Well, I didn't know that.
yeah, he's like,
It's
like,
definitely the Wild West of all of the
Definitely.
currency stuff. Yeah.
have to, for sure. But he
I
did
hear
say,
it calling my name.
No, and I'll definitely
Okay.
after this we'll connect and
Yeah.
I'll like help out with whatever I can do. But you already
Sorry,
have the
go
skill
ahead,
set.
go ahead.
Anybody who's ever used social media ever or played a
Yeah.
video game once has the skill set to do crypto.
And
Yep.
me both. I was addicted to Call of Duty.
What? Oh my gosh. Okay, so you know everything. You will get it instantly. You'll be like, I can't even believe I didn't
You
get
know what
into
I
it later.
wanted to also get into, which is a little bit off topic, but Twitch.
I don't know anything about Twitch. I wish I
Oh,
did, but I
but-
have friends who do it.
And they do well from what I've
Oh,
heard. It's just
yeah.
like it's literally we have so much access now because of just all these apps and websites
Yeah.
to just make so much money from different ways. So I want to start that. I
100%.
guess you just like stream on live and people just from watching you just tip you.
Yeah,
But it has to be like clean, like you can't like nothing like on that end from what I've heard of.
I don't know enough about Twitch, but like anybody that is killing it on Twitch, I commend them. Because I know people that are.
And then they really love,
I don't know.
really cute, like hot,
Yeah.
beautiful girls playing video games.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like dressed
Oh,
up anime,
yeah.
like, style,
Yeah, but you can't wear like lingerie, like a.
But there-
From what I heard, I thought you couldn't wear like
no, I think you can. I think
No.
that's
sexy,
true.
but like
Yeah,
super tiny.
The most popular girl out there is the what's her? I forgot
A
her
super
name.
tiny
It's
lingerie.
It's a Japanese girl that wears almost like pasties.
Oh, then maybe I'm thinking of I know there's multiple streaming apps, so maybe I
Yeah.
confuse the roles with the.
I know
different one.
TikTok gets kind of mad at you if you're too sexy on TikTok.
Yeah, I think there was another one. I can. So I guess you can do that
I
on
think Twitch is pretty open. Yeah. Twitch is
But
really
yeah, you should do it too.
I
Even
know
while
we
you're
should be in them
painting or
on together.
something.
Yeah, for real.
Or yeah, like we're putting
Yeah.
on, throw some booty shorts on, painting. They'll like that.
Right? No, I should. I should.
Yeah, because
You
I've
should
seen
too.
some your photos and stuff like that. So I like that you are comfortable with being in front of the camera as opposed to just like behind or like you embrace I can tell all your photos are super sexy and you're confident.
Yeah.
Have you always been like that, like comfortable in front of the camera?
I think when I kind of went through a phase where I felt a little bit uncomfortable, like just uncomfortable in my body, like you know many young women do.
Yeah.
I just felt kind of, I am queer, so like when I was in high school, I was very like, I thought I was gay, like 100%. I was super just like had like a kind of like shaved haircut and all this, and then I went through this transition into like ultra femininity, which in a way is also very queer, like very like almost like cartoon femininity, like fuzzy boas, right? Like that's the type of stuff I
Yeah.
love to embrace now. But I think for a while though, I wasn't the type to just like have my ass out on camera. But now I'm like, in the last like probably like 3-4 years, I've been loving it. I really have, because it just makes me feel so fulfilled, as well as it's a great way to market my talents, and that's the world we live in. Like we have to live as like women-bodied people. We have to already like deal with the male gaze. Why not profit off of it?
That's what people always say. They say sex sells, no matter how long.
Absolutely.
And I know people are probably gonna hear it and hate it or talk shit, but it's just facts. No matter what, you don't have to do that. But like, it's always gonna be that way. It was before the dawn of time. Still always gonna be.
I think modesty, I respect it so much. Like modesty is a beautiful thing. I think sexuality and sensuality is also a beautiful thing. I hold them as with the same equal amount of respect. 100%.
My mom just did a retreat recently, and it talked about masculine energy versus feminine, or that basically every man and woman, or because some people are non-binary, but every person needs a little bit of both types of energy.
I would say absolutely.
Like you have to just have both, not one of too much, because then you're gonna attract. Let's say you're trying to look for someone, and you're too much feminine, you're too much masculine. Like you might not attract exactly what you're looking for. Like you kind of have to learn how to play both roles. Like how you said you were too much feminine.
Yeah,
At one
I feel
point,
like
yeah.
I really like embody. I think externally I like really love femininity, but internally I feel very like non-binary myself. Like I feel very like feminine, masculine. Like I see that a lot in my relationship. My partner's non-binary. Shout out for now. And but like in our relationship, I take often the more like masculine role. Like I'm very much the boyfriend, if you want to be like gendered about it. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. Like for straight cis men, they walk the world with a confidence that I like, I want that. And that's not like always the right thing to say, because of course we should aim for higher than that, but that's just the truth. And I think when I live my life in a way where I have like such like divine femininity, divine masculinity all in one, I think it's like makes you unstoppable. Yeah.
I know. I love that. And when you said you were queer,
Yeah.
so what is queer exactly? Like, what's your definition of queer? Because I'm still like learning. Like, one of our friends, they both identify as non-binary. So I just sometimes I get like a little tongue tied where I'm like, oh, she, but then I'm like, oh, sorry, and then I'm like, I'm probably annoying you, you know, because that's how I feel. Where I'm like, oh, I'm trying to like adjust. Like, so how do you? So what is queer, and then how do you address people who are non-binary? Which I love and respect that so much, but it's just like tricky.
Yeah, it's an adjustment that you have to make, you know, with like, you know, the words. But once you get it, it's like, boom, you know, and if like no one's perfect. Like if somebody makes a mistake, you just watch it over and keep, you know, keep moving forward. Like there's nothing to beat yourself up about at all. But I think queerness to me is like, I always knew I was gay, but I wasn't sure how. Like I would date women and I would date like straight men, and I had a lot of great relationships within that, but you know, there was nothing that really like fit well, you know, but I realized it didn't matter the gender expression of the partner I had. You know what I mean? I think femininity, I think personally I am attracted to femininity, and that comes in like any form. So my partner Vernell is non-binary, South Central pop star. They're amazing. They're iconic, and they use they them pronouns. So like, you know, instead of she, her, it would be they, them. Yeah. So that's like just a way to kind of assert like, okay, you know, I don't fall into the binary of gender, you know, in that way. So they're like a very divinely feminine person as well as divinely masculine. And they just, you know, it's like kind of like, I think a great example of like someone before their time that was very like fluid was Prince. I think that's a great example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it now. Okay.
Yeah, because it's
you don't have to fall into the stereotype of being
you're this, you're
feminine or masculine. You just are.
Yeah, and it's so much more than that, of course.
You are who you are.
Yeah, and for me, like if somebody she, hers me, like I'm totally cool with that. Like says like, oh, she did that. If somebody they, thems me, like I'm also really, I love that. You know, I love to be like not defined by that. Like even he, him, like go for it. Like for me, I don't, you know, necessarily feel I need to be defined by gender. And I think that that's just, we're just seeing more of that more and more, you know? And like, I just think
you have to share with someone that you are non-binary before them just assuming, right?
Of course. I mean, so what I've been doing, like I've been they, theming everybody before I find out. But that's only because as my partner is like non-binary, I they, them so much that I'm constantly like, just, you know, it's just like my most normal pronoun that I use, especially with quarantine. I'm just at home, you know what I mean? So like for me, that's what I've been doing. But like there's even moments where I'll mess that up and you just like forgive yourself and move on. You know, no one is perfect.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's just kind of, I think we're just going to see it a lot more in the future. And, you know, my parents like are really wonderful people. They both have like really made the adjustment to like they, them, and like for, you know, gendering like people that are non-binary. Like, so it's just, you know, I think that is proof that if you just put the effort in, why not, you know?
Oh my God, that explains. I'm learning so much this podcast. I'm like, all right, oh my gosh, from this to that.
I think I get it.
It's a complicated thing, and like, you know, I think.
Oh, give her the mic before, no, just because they won't hear anything on the podcast, and it'll just sound silent, and we'll just be looking at you like.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Yeah.
Is it on? Yeah. Okay, so what does it mean, like they, them? Like, does it mean like you just don't say she? Like you just, instead of the she, he, you say they, them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, she, her, instead of like she went to the grocery store and she loved it, it's they went to the grocery store and they loved it. So it's just like a different, it's like you just replace the pronoun.
Okay, so you basically just replace, okay.
Yeah, you just replace like, you know, oh, that drink is hers. Oh, that drink is theirs. And it feels weird because I know it is like for a lot of people that multiple feels like a plural word. But it's also too like if I asked you, my friend's outside right now, is it okay if they get dinner? How would you respond to that?
Oh, yeah.
You would probably say like, yeah, they're down or like they're fine. Yeah. But you wouldn't, because like you would kind of not be able to assume their gender.
You wouldn't be like.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, you're right. That is good because you wouldn't like, she is okay. Yeah, that doesn't
like you wouldn't
sense.
just assume, you know.
Are your friend like, is she okay? Yeah, no, that wouldn't work. No. I'm like,
or it's like my friend is outside and there's or my friend's outside feeling sick. Mm-hmm. And then wouldn't you be like, oh, are they okay? Versus like you wouldn't know what to gender them as without the knowledge. So you would just subconsciously probably say they.
Dang, that's crazy. Now that I'm thinking, like, we do say they, them without
the context.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of already have it there. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That's how it went.
Are you non-binary as well?
I'll use she / they. You know, I'm open to it all.
My mom's other friend too, so she's open to she, they, but her partner only wants to identify as
They, them.
Yeah.
That's the same as my partner. Like, is they, them. Like,
But her partner's like, it's okay if you say she, her, you know. She's
exactly.
like, okay.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's just a low key.
How does one come into that realization and that feeling? It just kind of happens, or
I think people have always felt like it maybe their whole life, but they never had like the word for it.
like they can never really like they never really felt like him or her, like
Yeah.
it just kind of like a
Yeah, they just like kind of like, I think for some people when they hear it, they're like, wow, I really like resonate with that. Or even people that hear it for years maybe like resonate with it later in life, you know? And you can also like switch your, like if you go for they, them, like for years, you can go back or forth like to whatever you want. There's no rules to this. There's no rules to gender or queerness.
Yeah.
It's all a spectrum.
Yeah, I had this conversation with those two couple who's a friend recently.
I want to meet them.
And yeah, you should. That'd be
Sounds
dope.
like that.
You guys should double date, and then friend date too with me and my mom, because those are her friends too. But they asked me too, because we're just going around the table. We're like, well, what do you guys identify with? I'm like, I feel like a she, her, you know. And I'm like, that's how I feel. And they're like, okay, then that's how you identify, you know.
It's
So,
empowering too, you know?
yeah. So it was just, but I've never really been asked that to think about it. I'm like, you know, it's just an interesting thing to look at, like from the outside
Yeah.
and to really think about it. I'm like, I think I feel like that. But then when you hear other people coming from the other way, I'm like, well, who knows? I don't know. But then they're like, you know, that's what they said. They're like, you know, if you
Yeah,
felt.
I feel like you would. But I feel like they're like being queer and choosing to like for myself, like choosing to be she/they is also still like I can be all these things and still like represent myself, like she, her. Like that's just how I feel. Some days I feel more like they, them.
Yeah.
But definitely it is an uphill battle trying to get people to, you know, learn about pronouns. I've learned that with my partner. Like it takes a lot of like pulling teeth at first to remind people. But once people get it, I mean, like I think all of our goals are to make like the people that we love feel safe and feel heard. So it gets easier as time goes on to adjust.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then as far as bathroom wise, does your partner, is it offend
That's a good
them
question.
if it says women or men restroom? Does it offend them?
I think Vernell is like one of the most kindest, sweetest, and patient people ever. They're from South Central Baldwin Hills area. They, you know, their family like is a big adjustment for them to learn these things. So there are like a lot of questions, and I feel like they have the utmost patience. So I feel for them, it wouldn't be something super offensive or anything. But I know for so many trans people, you know, that is a very difficult question, you know, the whole thing of restrooms. And that's why, like, non-gendered restrooms, I think, like, all gender, you
Just
know.
recently I went to the Kara Hotel, right? Something like that.
Okay.
And then I think that was one of the first bathrooms I went to, and it said non-gender. So you literally walk in, it's just men and women, or them, or
Yeah. Everybody's,
I don't know
no,
if I'm saying it
everybody's,
right,
no, I think, like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, though, is, like, it's just, like, the fact that your heart is open, your mind is open to it, like, that already says so much. Like, that's just the goal. And, like, exactly, I think we're just going to see a lot more, like, non-gendered bathrooms or all-gender bathrooms and all of that in the future.
There we go. Abe, do you have any friends that are non-binary?
Not that I know of. I've never had the conversation. I mean, I have total like
Queer and gay are both the same, right? Or no?
I don't know. so confused.
That is,
I don't
dang,
mean to sound
I feel
ignorant. I
like,
don't
no,
mean to
that
sound
is not,
ignorant.
whoa. I feel like, I'm like, is it the same? I don't know. I think you can be queer. I think, it just depends whatever term resonates with you more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say like a lot of people that I know that are gay, like, and cisgender, meaning that they're like the gender that they were assigned to at birth and they like go by that. I feel like gay is maybe like the right term for some, queer for others. It's really just so flexible, you know, and this is just my point of view. Of course, there's like a million points of view that may feel different. So take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But I think like, I like queer because I just resonate with it more, you know? I've dated men, women, non-binary people at this point, and I just feel like queer, it feels right for me.
You have some gay or queer friends, Abe?
At this point, it's easier for me to understand cryptocurrency.
Hey, I get it.
Because I don't. Yeah, that it's.
Nah, don't
it's,
discredit yourself. If you
understand.
can understand crypto, you for sure can understand like the queer
Like-
spectrum. For sure.
I just have to learn it. That's all it is. I guess
Yeah.
me and my friends have never had the conversation. I never even bring it up. I just because there's to me, whatever the hell they are is what they are. Whatever
True.
name you want to call it is
Yeah,
the
some
name
friends
you
where
want to
they're
call
like,
it.
just don't even address, like,
Yeah,
just leave
wait,
it. It is what it is.
Your
So,
name, I
like
call
that, you know, just
like
leave
I,
it.
I call you by your name, and you call me by my name.
I think what it is though is like I feel like if a friend of yours came to you and was like, hey, I'm you know choosing to use these pronouns, I feel like you like everybody in this room is the type of person that would just make you
It's a
adjust.
conversation,
And that's
came
all that
up
it takes.
totally respectfully. Totally
Of course,
respectful
and that's really
about
all it is. That's
Yeah.
all it is to understand
Yeah.
it. Is just like if somebody, for example, changed their name, like I would totally respect that,
Yeah.
you know.
But I guess, yeah,
But like it's a journey even for myself. Like, you know, it took me a long time to adjust, and even like back in the day, I feel like there were mistakes that I made that I, you know, have now learned from, and that's just what it is, you know.
Since I was a kid, my mom had been taking me to like all the pride festivals because she identified as a lesbian. Now she just is open to whoever she has a connection with, but she's attracted to all. But she was only lesbian for like 6-7 years, so only in the relationships with women. So that's where I kind of know a taste. I want to think a taste of that world and all that.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
And all her friends, all she would do is hang out in West Hollywood and all that stuff. And I was just around, you know. So that's what opened my mind up more, because I will be honest. I think when I first found out she was, because as a kid, at least for me, I don't know if you can agree, but I was born thinking like, oh, guys are with girls and vice versa. I think I was born thinking that way. So
that was like the system you were born into.
Yes.
Of course, it's hard to see outside of that.
So I remember one time in 4th grade, I went through like her camera, just like going through it, and she was like, you know, when you take a picture like kissing your person, your partner, and she was like kissing her girlfriend at the time, I guess, like tongue. I just saw a photo of it. They were just like, you know, you're like, like that. And I remember like, I just remember I was like, I don't even know what my emotion was. I didn't understand, and I just started crying, and I was like, it was like, for me, I was like, this is not natural. This is not right. And this is me in 4th grade, everyone. But, you know, as a kid, I'm like, why are you kissing a girl? Like, what?
It was the system that you were taught.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like the entire, you know, especially at that time, you know, because we're like the same age roughly.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like that is like a common way that like we view the world. And that doesn't make you like a person that's not like woke or whatever, like open-minded. That just means like the system was like, this is like also too, like I feel a lot of us that don't fit into the traditional terms of like white supremacy, right? Like blue eyes, blonde hair, like we're all gonna have a moment that we have to unlearn, you know, feeling like looking at that and feeling like, oh, like some way about it, like, oh, I wish I was this or I wish I was that. And then you learn like later, like, oh, white supremacy, like we just gotta unlearn these things. And that's just not, and like Eurocentric beauty is like just totally a false standard and all of this, right? But in the same way we were born into this like idea of like colorism, racism, it's the same with like gendered stuff. We were born, you know, into a world that considered like men and women, like that's the match. Like gayness is on the fringe. In our lifetime, it's been like way more shifting towards mainstream, but like now non-binary is like the next like shift. And that's just, and I think everybody that has ever considers themselves someone that like has messed up in the past or like made a mistake, like forgive yourself. Like there's always room to unlearn and learn. That's how I feel about it, you know what I mean? So 4th grade you, like I love 4th grade you know. She was on the way to be this you, and you're such a wonderful person with an open heart.
It definitely was different, and she was like, she explained it to me the best she could, and I was like, you know, it took a while, like you said, to like, I guess unlearn, like you said, and I was just like adjusting, and then she's like, okay, and then she took some time, and then she's like, I'm gonna bring her around. She's like, it's not gonna be like, we can just call her my friend. That's how, you know, she was approaching it like, it's okay, we're not gonna like be like that, you know. She was just taking her time.
It was a different time too.
So and then eventually I loved her though, and it warmed up. And that also, that was her first girlfriend of like her whole phase of seeing only women, and they did identify as women. But yeah, so then I was open to it, and I got used to it, which I loved it, because I'm like, yeah, we're always in West Hollywood, and she'd take me with her. I'm like, I love this. And then like just everything was, I thought it was dope. So I'm like, I'm open to all that stuff now.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it sounds like it really like shaped you into like the person you are today. That's a beautiful thing.
I'm like, cheers to you and your partner.
Thank you.
And I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Salute to you guys back there too.
I'm just like spilling on myself a little bit.
Let's touch a little bit into your actual art. Your like art pieces. Sorry, I'm like
No, it's
went
all right.
into
No,
a
we
good
could.
topic, though.
No,
That was good. You guys needed to hear
meaningful.
this. Yes. Okay. All right. I guess so. What type of art have you created? Like paintings, sculptures?
Just all of it. If it's in my mind,
What else
I will
is
put it
there?
out there. I guess painting and I like immersive art
Ceramics?
worlds. Yeah, okay, I don't know about ceramics. That's a little too like you have to follow the rules.
You're
I'm
like,
not good at that.
No thanks.
My little sister's an amazing ceramicist, Michaela. Oh yeah, she can make like a whole. But I think there's
That's
a type
what I
of
wanna
patience.
do. Yeah.
I feel like you would be great at it. Like you have to have like a certain patience to like build it up. I'm in awe of ceramicists.
And then when you mess up, I see them just like
I know such
you're
an
like,
exercise, right?
and you
Just
just
like.
start- the whole thing. You're just like trash
Yeah.
it.
And that's kind of with painting too. When I paint, I'm always like, oh, like Control Z, but there is none. I'm like, okay, like I have to like really
So
figure
will
it
you
out.
ever throw your painting away, or you're like just make it work?
I just paint over it. Acrylic paint,
That's
is,
what's kind of cool about
it,
paint.
right? And it teaches you too to kind of like forgive and like just like be accepting of
with it.
mistakes and like make mistakes work for you, you know? But yeah, but I love painting. My most recent paintings, I did a series with like the bug head, which I think is you saw at the space.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was inspired by
He was the bug head was your muse.
Yeah, so it was. So this is kind of crazy, but like when I was younger, when I was at NYU, I like was diagnosed with like psychosis, which is similar to schizophrenia, which I don't believe I have. But at the time, I was like, it was very real. So I would like literally see like a bug head on my face, like in the mirror, and that's when. And I took a bunch of selfies, and then I started like painting them later once I like kind of like moved on past those symptoms.
Okay.
But yeah, that's where that whole bug head thing comes from. So I'll do like a bug head on like a sexy body, which is my own. You know what I mean? Because yes, sensuality. And that's my most recent painting series. Then I've been doing like the landscapes, you know, a lot of bright colors. I love, my dad's from Miami, so I love like Miami vibes, you know?
So what would you say, like, is there styles to painting, or everyone just does, it is what it is and what the art is?
I am not that well versed in the styles of painting. I don't know. I guess there is like realism or, you know, whoop-de-whoop, but I just do what feels good. There are no rules to this. I just make it up as I go.
Okay. But it's always different, because I had another I guess graffiti artist. She's not painter, graffiti artist.
Similar though.
kind
It's
of,
very similar.
but she's a painter. Yes, her Sand Wonder. Have you heard of her?
I'll check her out.
But so she does her dolls. Like, so she has her thing that she sticks to. Like, it's just like she put her style on it. It's her dolls, and she puts it on a bunch of like purses, shirts, and stuff. So that's why I was just asking. But yours is just whatever like comes to you, and it's always gonna switch off to something different, right?
Yeah, I
Like
think
all
so.
the other artists, like Picasso, and then like when you go through your moods, your stages of life, and all that.
Exactly. I think I just like am fluid with it, I guess, you know, and it's music too. Like I don't really stick to one genre.
Yeah.
Like I worked on like a dance hall type beat recently, and you know, and then like now I'm painting big pink buildings with like psychedelic feelings of walking into the wall. But like I was painting the Bee Girls, and it's just, I think, or maybe I'm just in too deep to see that it all is very cohesive. You know what I mean? Like I can't really tell, but no, I just do whatever I feel. It's a blessing.
And even while being the artist that you are, you still have that business side of you, because you've monetized off of it.
Yes.
And then you have now your peer space.
I do, yeah. So I put my space on like Peer Space. I just like during peak pandemic, I was like, oh my gosh, like a lot of people are moving out of, you know, these commercial properties. Like what a cool way also to like be from LA and try to like, you know, curate like the creative community within your own city, you know? So of course, like I found a listing. I asked if I could talk them down. I was able to, and boom, then I was,
Cool.
yeah, you know, and then I just
You're
like made it
I did what
awesome.
I did.
Yeah, I did what I did to do it. But yeah, then I just like made it happen, and then I curated it with my art, and now I rent it out for and like meet beautiful people like you all the time.
I know. Have you actually made like a lot of like
I have.
connections and friendships and stuff from that?
Yeah, I have. It's so crazy to see like what the work, like what my artwork without like me, right? Because you know, some people see the work like on Peer Space without even like knowing who I am. Most people that come from TikTok, because I like love TikTok, to be honest. But you know, sometimes I'll meet somebody just from Peer Space and they just resonated with the work. And if they resonate with the work and the purple and the fuzz, they're gonna be awesome.
Were you nervous to like take the first step in? Like, were you nervous to just be like, all right, you got the idea, and then were you scared, like, all right, I just got to do it? Were you scared and like, should I do it?
Oh, I was so
It's not
scared.
gonna do good. It's like, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
And then how did you get like that momentum? You're like, fuck it, just do it.
I think like I definitely come from a place of like financial privilege. Right now I live in like a rent controlled apartment, you know, and like just things like that. I don't have student debt right now.
Yeah.
So like just those things kind of make those like financial risks more.
Easier.
You know, I can take
Okay.
it, but it's not like it's all be okay. I think I like to say that too, because like I think like it's important just to know like, you know, the reality of like I have a lot of blessings and privileges in a way that like not everybody does. So like that's why I'm able to take those risks. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to like fake it and be like, oh, you know, I just did it. Like no. It was a lot of blessings, you know. But with that, oh no, I was totally horrified, and the feeling of disappointing my family. I'm like 26 too, but like you know, it just you know that feeling is. I was so worried about disappointing everybody, so I didn't tell anybody. I just rented it and then curated it. Didn't tell anyone until I was profiting. No one in my family. I try to keep it secret.
I feel like I'm kind of that way too. We're just like, all right, work in silence. You know what I'm saying? Like
Lasagna.
yeah, but that's huge. I think it's huge that you did it. I love your studio, and I can see from all your posts because I follow you. Let's tag in her Instagram again real quick, Abel. I'm saying this. Yes, so because I see all your posts and. I feel like I see all the time you're getting bookings and huge stuff and all this and that and busy. So it is a Peer Space, her location, which is all of her 100% customized from top to bottom, from the floor to the couches to the art, everything. And it's super groovy, funky. What kind of vibes? What else would you say? Psychedelic?
Yeah, I would say psychedelic. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And rent it out, everyone. It's available on her Peer Space. You're seeing it. And it's website, Vita Kari, right?
Yeah, vitakari.com/VitaWood, I think. Yeah, it's the way.
Yeah, so Vita Kari, everyone. Do that. Check out her artwork. Make sure to follow her. Show her love. DM her for any questions on cryptocurrency.
Oh, absolutely. I got you. Absolutely.
Or if you want to know where she got her outfit from, DM her on that too. Thank you for coming on.
Oh my God, it was a blessing. Thank you.
And you will see more of us for sure. We're going to work on something in the future.
NFTs.
Yes. Please like and subscribe to my video. See you not next Thursday because it's Mama D's birthday, but the one after that, I'm going to have another guest. So thank you, everyone. Shout out to 7-Eleven Media Group. And yeah, love you. Bye.